Nationwide have just released a special report on the hurdles that first-time buyers are currently facing in the UK. And I know you guys love a report, so here's a video just about it. Hi there, Lee Everett from Lee Everett Property, and on this channel I'm passionate about helping as many first-time buyers buy their first home. So if you're after the best tips, advice and news just like this video, please hit that subscribe button. This report from Nationwide covers some key hurdles that first-time buyers, people like you, are currently facing in the UK property market. Now this is purely about mortgages and finance. This isn't anything to do with the lack of properties on the market, the amount of competition you're going to be facing. So if you're interested to know what the big hurdles are financially in getting a mortgage and buying your first home, then this video should help you out. The number one thing on Nationwide's report is that the average house price growth has been going up quicker than the average wage growth. Over the last 40 years, the average house price has been only 3.75 times the average yearly wage. That doesn't sound too bad, especially when most mortgage lenders will lend you 4.5 times your yearly wage. Let's fast forward to 2021. Right now, what has been going on? House prices now are 5.5 times a person's average yearly wage. Now, when lenders are only offering 4.5 times, you can really see the gap in people's wages and house price growth and how it is limiting how many people can buy their first home. This 5.5 times yearly wage is the most or the biggest it's ever been. The previous record was set in 2007 where the average house was 5.4 times somebody's average wage. So it's now 5.5, which is incredible, and it's really difficult to be able to get on that property ladder while house prices are so high. Luckily enough, there is one lender to my knowledge, which does happen to be Nationwide, that do lend certain people 5.5 times their yearly income. Now, I have made a video on this, which I will link in the description, and I'll put a card in here somewhere, but if you do want to speak to a qualified mortgage broker who can advise on this, I'm no expert. I can't give advice, but if you do want to speak to somebody that can give you that advice on a 5.5 times helping hand mortgage from Nationwide, drop me an email at leeeverettpropertyadvice@gmail.com. As you can imagine, it's not the same across the whole of the UK. London is leading the most expensive area or an unaffordable place to live, where the average first-time buyer house is 9 times somebody's yearly wage. Contrast that with Scotland, and it's only 3.4 times your yearly wage, and the north of England is 3.5. So depending where you live in the UK really has a massive difference on how much you need to earn to be able to buy your first home in the area that you live. Not only are wages not keeping up with house price growth, Nationwide are now reporting that the average person's deposit, a 20% deposit on a first-time home, is now 110% of a first-time buyer's wage. So it's going to take over a year of saving every penny of your gross pay, that's not take-home pay, your gross pay for over a year to be able to have your 20% deposit. And that's absolutely fine if you don't have rent, bills and things to pay for. But if you're a normal person, saving every penny that you have of your wages is just not going to be viable. And we've seen a 2% increase alone on last year's figures. Last year it was 108% of somebody's gross take-home pay would have been enough for a 20% deposit, whereas now it's a staggering 110%. These figures are getting bigger and bigger each year. So let's look how long it's going to take a first-time buyer on average to save their 20% deposit for their first home. And in this example, we're going to presume that the first-time buyer is able to save around 15% of their take-home pay. In Scotland, saving that 15% of your take-home pay, it's going to take you approximately 6 years to save up enough money for your 20% deposit. While in East Anglia, it's going to take around 10 years, and London a staggering 16 years to save up your deposit. 15% of your take-home pay every month you'd have to save for 16 years to be able to afford a 20% deposit in London. I mean, wow. I mean, who saves for 16 years to buy their house? You could have paid half a mortgage off by then. It's absolutely staggering, absolutely staggering. While you're here, please let me know what your massive struggles are as a first-time buyer. What are you experiencing in terms of financial side, deposit, mortgage rates, lenders, all those sorts of things. Please share what you're going through in the comment section below. Because of this difficulty it is right now to save for a deposit, a large deposit that is, Nationwide and their figures have said that nearly a third of all first-time buyers are relying on either a gift or a loan from friends or family, or even inheritance, to be able to speed up their dream of home ownership. Talking about affordability, let's look at how much an average first-time buyer's wage is being spent on a mortgage right now. But let's go back to 2007. Nationwide are given some figures of how much the average first-time buyer was spending on the mortgage with their wages, and that is 45%. So 45% of the average first-time buyer of their wages was going on a mortgage alone. So nearly half of their wages going on a mortgage. Unbelievable. Let's fast forward to today in 2021, and that figure is down to 31%. Another hurdle Nationwide are anticipating could hurt first-time buyers in the future is the impending Bank of England interest rates. But what I've noticed, and the mortgage brokers that I speak to, is that the lenders are slowly but surely increasing their mortgage interest rates, even before the Bank of England have done anything. But let's not forget that borrowing money for a mortgage has never been cheaper historically. You can speak to your parents and grandparents and talk about the 80s, where interest rates were around 14-15%, whereas now they're a hell of a lot lower. It's never been cheaper to buy a property in terms of interest rates. So we've got higher house prices, wages not keeping up with that house price increase, we've got interest rates going up, and it's taking longer and longer to save for a deposit. They're just some of the hurdles that Nationwide are saying are happening. Please like the video, and I'll see you again next time. Take care.